Hi, this is Don Alphin again. Welcome to another video in our series for Essential Leaders. This video is going to be one about commitment to business. You know, I've been fortunate literally for the past 30 years, in fact 30 plus years, that I have been able to be a business builder, an entrepreneur if you want to call it that. But really it's just the idea that business does not frighten me, it excites me. And it is fun to be able to build businesses. I was fortunate very early on in my career to have built a couple of very large businesses. The first business that I built, I took literally a company that had been in business for 5 years and we're averaging about $300,000 in yearly annual income, and took that from $300,000 to $36 million a year in just under 2 years. And then I repeated that in the next business and took it from zero as a startup all the way to $20 million in just 2 years. Now, since that time, I have helped many businesses as a business consultant, as well as I have also built another couple of businesses for myself. I actually started an industrial supply company in the mid-'80s. Back here in Utah, after my businesses that I previously discussed were located in Texas and in Oklahoma, and essentially created a business that I could spend 4 or 5 hours a day running the business, and the rest of the time I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do. I could coach my kids in their basketball or their whatever kind of sporting events they had. I taught my daughter how to bass fish, and I taught her how to ride a horse, and got her in her horseback riding lessons, and then eventually as a show horse around the state. All of those things came as a benefit of owning and operating my own businesses. Now, the exciting thing about network marketing is that you actually have a company that has spent millions of dollars, in the case of ZJ International and Mayo, to provide us the opportunity, the tools necessary to build a very large and profitable business. I didn't have that luxury when I started in business. So I'd like to draw a comparison very quickly about brick and mortar businesses versus network marketing, and see if you can understand and get a grasp of what a tremendous opportunity we have in network marketing. You know, if you were to start a carpet cleaning business, I was speaking to a fellow who owns a carpet cleaning company the other day, and his investment initially to get involved in his company was $50,000, and that really didn't include a very good truck to house the equipment that he had. Those were just the fees to get started, to get the right franchise going, to get the right machines going, and that once again was not complete. You had to still do all the other things that you have to do to build a business. Marketing, advertising, finding help, finding people to do the work. So once again, that commitment had to be there, or would have to be there, regardless of what business that you're building. You know, if you were to think really big and say, hey, I'd love to own a McDonald's franchise. First of all, a lot of the McDonald's franchises worldwide are taken by other people. But if you could weasel your way in and get the opportunity to buy a McDonald's franchise, including buildings and all those other kinds of things that they have to do, your commitment is well over $2 million. So imagine if you were to spend $2 million to get a McDonald's franchise in the first month or so. You really didn't get that many people coming into your establishment. Maybe it was out in the outskirts of a town and people hadn't found you yet. What are you going to do? You're going to walk away from that $2 million if things don't work out the first month? No. In reserve, you have money left over so that you can exist without making a profit for a certain period of time. Sometimes up to years before you actually start making money. Now, the same thing is true for practically any other business that we could talk about. So the thing that drives people to own a small business or to get into business for themselves is what I've experienced for the last 30 years, and that's freedom. Freedom to come and go as you please, to choose when you're open, when you're not open, when you're working and when you're not working. Being able to spend time with family and other kinds of things like that. However, for the most part, many people that get into business for themselves find that they become a slave to their business, especially if it's something that you yourself know and it's very, very difficult to pass on to other people. In other words, to duplicate yourself. Literally, that's what companies try to do, is simply duplicate themselves. A McDonald's franchise holder wants to duplicate that customer that comes in every hour to order from the menu. If he can have multiple hundreds of customers coming in each hour to buy from the menu, that's what his goal is. So they set up their advertising and their marketing and everything they do to try to duplicate that customer many, many, many times every single hour. It's the same with all other companies. In network marketing, it's also the same. We want to duplicate something, but what do we duplicate? We're trying to actually duplicate ourselves. Why? Well, because the company, in this case ZJ International, has already spent the money in research and development. They've got wonderful products, 3 divisions of the company. You know, we have a sports nutrition line, we have a core nutrition line, and of course we have our Omeo essential oils. All of those are there ready for us to simply share with other people. And in essence, if you want to look at us as a sales force, to be able to push their product and to sell their product worldwide. Okay? Now, they've supplied all that to us. So what is our commitment? Oh my goodness, you know, we've heard many times that if you want to maximize the compensation plan, all you really need to do is spend about $230 for that initial pack. It would be nice to have to be called a founding distributor, and until December of 2014, you can still buy a founder's pack for $660 and be called a founding distributor and actually be a founding distributor in the company. But the difference between $230 and $660 is not all that significant when you look at it in comparison to starting another business in another genre, in another area. And so really the commitment level, or the actual financial commitment to starting a network marketing company, is very, very small, very, very low on a scale from 1 to 10. And so if you think about what the potential is of the businesses that you might start, you know, I was asking this carpet cleaning company or entrepreneur, if you will, and ask him what he expected to earn in a year, and he says, "Oh my goodness, I would just kill for about $60,000 to $70,000 a year in this business." He says, because that would give me what I need to live, and it also give me some freedom and some time, as long as I don't have to be a slave to my carpet cleaning company, right? Well, if you talk to a franchise holder for McDonald's, you know, they might look at a couple of $100,000 to $250,000 a year net income, which is a marvelous income, wonderful income, based on $2 million of investment. So that's kind of where that realm is for making money with a brick and mortar company.